Hello everyone, my name is Clantis and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, if you see smokiness going on in here, that's because I was making dinner and I burnt it because I was busy watching a live and now I'm suffering the consequences of having smoke all over my place, and I just forgot to close the windows before I started recording, and you may hear some noise coming from outside. But we are not about that. Today, I just want to talk once again to Thabo Bester people, Thabo Bester. So more developments have come to light, but this time it's not necessarily Thabo Bester being in the spotlight, but it is related to Thabo Bester. So Dr. Pashy opened a criminal case against Dr. Nandipha Magudumana and Thabo Bester for fraud and all that other stuff that I still don't understand how it's even possible. I think what she was doing was to try to save her butt. However, though, I think she may have forgotten the story that she gave in two affidavits about what had happened to her passport. So remember, her first passport was stolen and only to be discovered to be with Nandipha in Tanzania. And then she made another affidavit where she explained that she had given her passport, the one that is working, not the one that expired, to Thabo Bester and Nandipha Magudumana so that Thabo would fast pace her application to become a working American citizen. And then the question I'm asking myself, what happened to the American embassy? Did it disappear? Because as far as I know, whenever I travel, whether I'm going to the US or I'm going to the UK or wherever, I first have to go to the embassy of that particular country I'm going to be visiting. And from what I understand, Dr. Pashy has traveled before to the US. I'm not quite sure how she got herself to the US if she did not use the services by law of the American embassy. How in the world did Thabo Bester become the American embassy is what I want to know. So on that one, I think she implicated herself that she's a shortcut lady, and she needs to be held accountable for that because she's basically screwing up the system, and she needs to be held accountable for trying to do that. That's an attempt. So now to go today and open a case against the two is quite interesting for me. Instead of going to the police station and say, hey guys, I'm here to tell my side of the story. You can lock me up, charge me, and I will defend myself in court. And if I'm not guilty, then I'll walk away. But if I'm guilty of something, then I need to, well, justice needs to serve its cause. Instead of trying to make a fool of the system by going to open a case against Dr. Nandipha Magudumana. And on top of that, you gave them money. That's solicitation. And that is against the law. You give money for favors instead of following the correct routes, the legal routes. The American embassy is right there in Santon where you play around. Haven't you seen it before? So it's very interesting with these people. I think these guys are playing or probably exposing something that many of us were unaware of, especially I'm talking about these rich people. I think they're exposing something that we are not aware of. And another thing that I also learned late, no, it wasn't late last year, maybe sometime in the middle of the year, that prisoners, those that are serving life in prison, they have been used to assassinate people, and then they are taken right back into prison. That is why whenever police try to investigate something, fingerprints, either they are not found. If they are found, it confuses the investigators, like, but this person is in jail. How is it possible that their fingerprints are found on the crime scene? So it's quite interesting, but it's not surprising. This is South Africa after all. And I still say that the system, I'm talking about the criminal justice system, starting with the South African police services, they need to be overhauled. We need to start afresh. We need to discuss as a nation what should be the qualification of a policeman, because clearly metric no longer works. Even a bachelor's degree in 2021 is nothing but just a piece of paper. It's no longer I'm not saying it's not important and it's not going to get you a job that you want, but the job that you will get, it will start you right from scratch. No more if you come from university, a managerial position, but maybe a junior manager, probably even a supervisor. So these days you have to get your education a little bit to the master's level. And that is when you'll be taken serious, and that is when you'll be getting what you will call a job that pays. I'm putting air quotes here because I'm talking about the money aspect, the satisfaction or satisfactory salary. So a metric, is that still a thing? Because clearly we are having a situation with our policing. If anything happened to your family right now, you'll be told the same storyline. Or is it a punchline? I thought it was only here in Joburg, but apparently it's everywhere. You call 10 111, they take forever to come. And when they do eventually come, they will tell you, oh, there's only one van. How is it possible that the entire country you hear the same story? The entire country. Oh, we only have one van. But when you're looking on the streets, the jurisdiction you live in, you see more than one van moving about with policemen just basically, I don't know what they're doing, just driving around. So the system needs an overhaul. And another thing that is also of concern that is developing, and I think these rich people have noticed and thought, hey, we can get away with this. South Africa, the way is so corrupt, we could get away literally with anything. I don't know. Somebody needs, from the rich people, they need to say something. What's happening, guys? What are you doing with convicted criminals? What is it that we don't know that you know? And I'm not saying we want to use your method, but something is up. And I think one day it's going to come to light. Because I don't think Thabo is the only convicted criminal that is used by the rich people. You'll find there are more and more rich people that are using convicts who are currently serving heavy sentences in prison. So, Dr. Pashy, the stand that you pulled today, I don't think it's going to play in your favor. As a matter of fact, it's going to get you in trouble with the law. If I were you, I would turn into a state witness. I would have gone and to the National Prosecuting Authority and said, hey guys, I'm here to be your state witness. Whatever you want to know, I'm willing to talk. Provided that, then she says the conditions. And then, okay, wait, I didn't lock my screen, damn it. And then G4S appeared in Parliament again, and they took no responsibility. They did not say anything along the lines of what exactly were they doing. All they were doing was lying through their teeth, making fools of South Africans who were paying at least 50 million rand per month into their bank account, and this is what we get in return. And accountability. They were not holding themselves accountable for anything. They don't have this, they don't have that. A very interesting question that was asked in Parliament today about the 26, which is a question that I've always asked, because it's not like the prison authorities as well as the government, they didn't know that there was such a group or groups in prisons, because some of them run these prisons. And I understand that the 26 and the 27s and the 28s, it's not just the criminals or the gang, but it is a network of people, from the gangs to even police, priests, pastors, community leaders, probably even some judges. I'm not saying the judges' part is true, because our judiciary is independent and it cannot be influenced by outside noise. And besides, even if a judge was influenced, their case goes on review, and then whoever the 26 or 27 or whatever has infiltrated the judiciary, they'll have to go as far as the constitutional court. Because when a person takes their case on appeal, or maybe their cases get reviewed, the judge might find themselves in trouble if their judgment don't make sense. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that that question was very important. Why prison system allow such crimes to take place? Why do they allow gangs to exist? Prisons are meant to be rehabilitation centers, not where they learn to become even hardcore criminals, where they come back on, or maybe when they get released, they come back monsters. Prison is supposed to rehabilitate them. So why would prison authority allow such things to happen? I think that question really did get. I think that question stopped them on their track, because, come to think of it, or they thought, why didn't we stop it? Why don't we stop such crimes or criminal acts inside of prison, when prisoners are supposed to be busy getting rehabilitated, not ganging up and causing havoc in other prisoners' lives simply because they don't want to join that gang, or maybe they can't pay for this service and that service. Why our prisons are allowing this? That was a very important question, I thought. And I think, once again, overhauling the system will assist in starting things afresh. And then we have a new set of rules and laws that will prevent things of that nature from happening. But I think it starts with our police. Our police are useless, let's be honest. Yes, there are those that really do the best that they can. Unfortunately, they get swallowed. Unfortunately, they get swallowed by the bad apples, unfortunately. So, what do? We saw Bekele and his people in parliament, and they were cross-examined by by parliament, and goodness gracious me, the circus was so upsetting that it left one, as a South African citizen and a taxpayer, thinking, I don't think we have police in South Africa. If anything should happen to you, who is going to come to your rescue? Who is going to hold the people that have committed a crime against you accountable? How many cases out there are unsolved because the police are inept? So these are the conversations that we should be having. I think this type of Bester matter has brought up a lot of things that were hidden, and now that they're in the light, and I think more stuff are still going to come out. How do we shape our country going forward? I heard what's his name, the ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula, talking about, oh yeah, we came to a conclusion as NEC of the ANC that South Africa, there's too many guns on the streets. Y'all just realizing this now? Talk about being so out of touch. Yeah, you're only finding out that now? People have been dropping like flies left, right, and center because of guns, illegal guns. And you know also what South Africa's little problem is as well, with illegals, whom some of them have been caught with illegal firearm on them whenever they are caught. So, you know what? If you're a South African citizen and you are listening to this video, seriously, how your next 5 years will look like is going to sincerely depend on you. It's going to depend on the tips of your fingers when you go vote. You will have to ask yourself a question when you get to the ballot paper. How was my life in the past 5 years? And when I say your life, I'm not just talking about you alone, but you, your family, your extended family, like your cousins and all those people. How has their lives changed? Was it for the better or was it for the worse? What about service delivery? What about you as a citizen getting satisfactory services? That question is for you to answer when you are looking at the ballot paper and you're about to put that X. Because clearly, we don't have a government. And if we do, the people in charge are inept. They have no idea what they are doing. Let's be honest right there. There may be few that are trying their best, but the majority, no, they couldn't care less. They couldn't give a rat's tail about South Africans. So it is, I don't know, we're on our own, I suppose. So all these things that are happening, it's not like we did not know about them. It's just that we were not sure if they were happening or not. Or we were not sure how to bring them to light because everybody, whenever a politician is involved, some people fear to expose or blow the whistle. We've seen how whistleblowers have been treated in South Africa as well. Never a good thing to be a whistleblower, but it's important that you blow the whistle where there is corruption. There's a lady who fled the country because she was a whistleblower and she's afraid for her life. The government will not provide protection. So it's quite sad where we're at. So Thabo Bester really did expose a lot of things that were happening in our police, in our correctional service system, everywhere. So the criminal justice system really needs help. It needs great help. The judiciary system, I think, is fine as far as I can tell. The judiciary remains independent even though they try to penetrate it and try to weaken it, because once you weaken the judiciary, there's trouble. That's when the country crumbles. But the judiciary is still intact and it's protected, guarded very well. Now, the problem is the criminal justice system. How do we fix it? Same goes with parliamentarians. Who do we put in parliament? Is it still, it doesn't matter what your qualifications are to be a member of parliament? I don't know. I think we need to have a discussion about that. What qualification must a member of parliament have? Me, I am saying if a member of parliament had at least a year of constitutional law lecture lecture, I would be comfortable with that person becoming a member of parliament because at least they understand the basics of the constitution. If they have a bachelor's degree or a diploma in something, I will be comfortable because that means they are critical thinkers and they will be there making sure that the laws are made and they understand what the laws, what the implications are if they implement these laws. And at least our country will move in the right direction if you professionalized the parliament. I'm talking members of parliament. If you professionalize legislatures, the provincial legislatures, if you professionalized council houses, talking about the councillors, I think we would have a better, professional, and progressive country. I don't know. That's a discussion. I'm not saying agree with me. If you don't agree, fine. I'm more than willing to have a conversation about that. But I think it's time that we started having a discussion about those things. So anyways, I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to say what I heard today regarding the Thabo Bester matter with Dr. Pashy opening a criminal case against Dr. Nandipha Magudumana and Thabo Bester for fraud and all the other stuff that she laid charges on, which I still think is futile for her. Just be a state witness. That's it, ma'am. Be a state witness. The stunt you pulled is not going to work for you. That much I can tell you. And you will spend time in prison. Anyways, thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you want to say something, leave a comment down below. Do share this video far and wide. Again, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.